Hey everyone, welcome back to the insanity, I should say. I decided that I needed to do a health update since I saw my rheumatologist today. If you are not familiar with my story, I do have a few videos on my chronic illness. I have all sorts of fun things going on in this body. None of it's good. And my big bad is the ankylosing spondylitis. And of course, fibromyalgia, psoriatic arthritis, psoriasis, Raynaud's syndrome, mixed connective tissue disease. I'm sure there's tons of other things that I've forgotten. And I did see my rheumatologist today because 2 weeks ago, roughly, just right around 2 weeks ago, I had my infusion, my Remicade infusion for my ankylosing spondylitis so that I can function from day to day. And I had a reaction to it, which I was kind of worried that it was going to happen because I had noticed the last few infusions I wasn't feeling the greatest. It's like they weren't doing what I needed them to do as strongly as well as I need them to work. And then when my insurance was kind of like hemming and hawing about me changing meds because they didn't want to pay for the name brand Remicade anymore. And then that pushed my infusion back a week. I think I was already starting to build up antibodies, and then that extra week on top of it just kind of solidified the fact that my body's like, yep, we're done with this. And so I got 3 milliliters of a 250 milliliter infusion in my body, which is like next to nothing. And so I was just over 11 weeks without any medication working on my body, on my spine to function. And yeah, it's been very painful, like very, very painful. So I went to the rheumatologist today as my follow-up to see what can be done. It just was really horrible timing that my specific rheumatologist went out on maternity leave, so all of her patients were being spread through the other doctors there, and that's why it took me 2 weeks to get back in there. It sucks, but it is what it is. So I saw the assistant today, and she's amazing. She's really nice, very knowledgeable, and what she doesn't know, she goes and talks to one of the head rheumatologists there so that there's no questions or anything like that. They kind of work as a team, which I kind of like when I'm going to see a doctor, because not all doctors know all the things, but when you have a bunch of people to, ask questions, I feel like you just get better service that way. So today, my current rheumatologist was going over some of the symptoms that I had. I have symptoms that I really haven't had before with ankylosing spondylitis. Though I have felt these symptoms before, but it was a long time ago when, if you guys were following me on my other channel, because I don't think I've mentioned it here, this channel didn't exist back then, I had an ovarian cyst that grew very rapidly, and at that time I had a lot of radiating pain throughout my entire torso, and I guess I just assumed it was part of that whole cyst growing from this little tiny thing on my ovary to like a watermelon size. Well, I started having that pain in the last few weeks, smiling through it as I always do, because that's just how I have to function. And I mentioned it to the doctor today because it was just unbearable. And I got yet another diagnosis. Yay! Something else that I can put on the whole list, the laundry list of diagnoses that I've gotten. So this is not uncommon to go with ankylosing spondylitis. It is, I hope I don't mispronounce it, it's costochondritis. Costochondritis, I think that's how it's pronounced. And it basically means like inflammation in your cartilage, your tendons, ligaments, all that stuff through your rib cage. It goes through like the sternum. It kind of almost feels like what I would imagine a heart attack feels like, except that it's central and not on like the side of your heart. It radiates from my spine and my back through all of my ribs, all the way around the front, even down on my lower ribs, through my sternum and everything. And it's hard to take a deep breath. But unfortunately, that's what I have to do to stretch everything out. I've been watching some videos since they told me this afternoon that this is another thing that I have going on. And yeah, entertaining, right? So I can't take Remicade anymore because I guess now, since I've had a reaction to it, I guess technically I'm allergic to it, though I think it's just that my body has built up antibodies to it, so I don't know if it's technically an allergic reaction or what. I don't know. I'm not the doctor. I don't get paid the big bucks for that. But the way my insurance is, like, it's a big company, but they're kind of a pain in the butt. I've been dealing with them for years, and they've caused problems before, not wanting to approve things. So I was given options today, and I like options. I like them. Not all options are good, though. So the first option was to try a different, I think it's a TNF inhibitor. I think that's what it's called. It's an immunosuppressant, very similar to Remicade, but it works on like different things. It's not the exact same thing, so I don't have antibodies built up to whatever the other one was. And I can't remember what she called it. I probably should have remembered that, but I don't. The only problem with that is it would take approximately 2 weeks to get approval through my insurance company, or more, because that's just how my insurance company works. They're a pain in my butt, or a pain in my spine, as the case may be here. But she said usually it takes about 2 weeks for the average insurance company to approve a new medicine for infusion. So that would put me at over 13 weeks by the time I could potentially get this approved. Knowing the way my insurance company works, it would probably be more like 3 or 4 weeks as opposed to the average 2. So that would put me at, 15 weeks most likely. And then by the time they get the approval, it usually takes 2 weeks to 2.5 weeks to actually order and get the medicine, the infusion, to the infusion center. So here, that would put me at 17 to 17.5 weeks before I would have an infusion. So from my previous infusion that actually worked to the new one would be close to 18 weeks, which is insanity. The amount of pain that I am in right now is otherworldly. I don't even know how to explain it. It is so painful. It hurts to twist my body. It hurts to move, which is a bad thing if you have ankylosing spondylitis, because the one thing they tell you, the very first thing that they tell you with ankylosing spondylitis, because it's inflammatory in your spine, if you lose mobility, the chances of your spine fusing raise exponentially. So if I'm not able to flex my spine and I lose mobility in my spine, there's a strong probability, not possibility, but a probability that I could get what they call bamboo spine. It's like your vertebrae fused together. And however they fuse together is how you will live the rest of your life. So if you're hunched over when it fuses, that's what your body does forever. Because if they break those fusions, you have the risk of snapping your spinal column, which, I am really not a fan of that. No, thank you. So the first option was to go that route and wait and wait and wait. And knowing my personal insurance company, I don't want to do that because, like I said, we're already 11.5 weeks out. So the other option was to try something here, where they give you a shot that you take home, and you do that weekly, as opposed to every 8 weeks is when I would get the infusions. I would have to give myself a shot weekly in the abdomen or in your thigh area. Haven't decided, which I find more repugnant, but I digress. So that I could start right away. if my insurance approves it. Which we know that my insurance doesn't approve anything. But my doctor's amazing. Even though she's not my regular doctor, she's still amazing. They had samples. And she gave me 4 weeks worth of samples, which gives 4 weeks for them to contact my insurance and try to get it approved. Now here's the kicker. It's very expensive medication. They don't know if my insurance company is going to approve it because they've dealt with my insurance company for myself as well as a bunch of other people. And it's one of the companies that a lot of people have issues with. Though I think in the US, a lot of insurance companies are kind of a pain. But, you know, it is what it is. So we're going to see. Who knows, in 4 weeks, we might not see any difference. We just don't know. So this is what they gave me. It's called Cosentyx. I have not opened it up yet. We can do that together right now. I'm not going to do the shot right now, but we can crack this open and see what it looks like. So I will have to do this. Ooh, this thing is, it's big. I will have to do this every week. I go back in 4 weeks. I will still be on loading doses in 4 weeks. Hopefully my insurance will approve it. Hopefully I will see some kind of benefit by then. This is one of those medications that it usually takes about 4 to 6 months, but usually closer to 6 months to really see any major improvement. But that is also very typical of infusions. So you never know. Some people see some benefit earlier than that. Some people don't. I am hoping that I see some benefit because this body is hateful right now. So I wanted to update you on that. Also, because of the pain, the costochondritis, and the last time that I felt anything remotely like this was when I had the cyst on my ovary, and like everything in my abdominal cavity was in a lot of pain. My rheumatologist was also concerned that there might be something else going on in there, that it's very probable that it is linked to the ankylosing spondylitis, but because I have a history of feeling this prior to my diagnosis, when I had the abdominal issues before from the cyst, she wants me to go do a CT scan. She wanted to do it with and without contrast. I've done that before for MRI. I'm allergic to the contrast, so I can't do that. Lucky me. So in the next couple of weeks, I will get a CT scan of like my torso and see what's going on in there. Who knows if they're going to find anything? They may or may not. You know, I'll let you guys know if they do find anything. But in the meantime, I'm just going to try this fun stuff and see how it works. And of course, we'll let you know. My worry with this is, one, it's either going to work really well and my insurance won't approve it, or it's not going to work, or I'm going to have a reaction to it. I have chronic gastritis, and that is, for lack of better explanation, it is kind of like an inflammation and compromise of your stomach lining. So that can lead to ulcers in your stomach. So like my whole digestive system is jacked up. And I'm very careful about what I eat, but this medication is known to cause issues with your digestive tract in people that have like IBD, which I don't have. It can really exacerbate that, and this is not recommended for people that have digestive issues, especially IBD. So I'm hoping that I won't react to this. Usually causes a lot of nausea, sometimes, not to be gross, but it can cause vomiting, other fast-tracking digestive issues, if you catch my drift. I'm not looking forward to that because I already have issues with my digestive system, so hopefully I won't have those kind of issues. I'm going to take it right before bed because it's supposed to make you nauseous, sleepy, and just generally make you feel like total crap. So I'm gonna take some Tylenol, take a Celebrex, Benadryl just in case of the chance of allergic reaction, and I'm gonna go to bed, or at least try to sleep, because sleep has been really rough lately. Hence the dark circles and the bags under my eyes, just because it's hard to sleep when your spine hurts, but and your ribs too. But I will let you know how this goes. I just wanted to update you guys. As soon as I know anything, like if I react, I'll let you guys know right away, obviously. Once I get a CT scan, I'll let you guys know what's going on with that. I've really been wanting to get back out into the garden, even though it's kind of tapering off this time of year. I've been wanting to get in the kitchen and cook and film all that. I just haven't felt up to it because my body hates me. But I'm going to get through this. We're going to find something that works eventually, and we're going to be okay. Yep, that's what we're going to do. So, yeah, I will keep you updated on this. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to take my face off here, get my meds together, take a shower, do all the shots and the things, and I have to do like my patch because I had to go on HRT because of a medically induced menopause. You know, the fun things in life when you get old like me. But that's my health update. Anytime I have something else to share with you, I will get on here. And once I'm starting to feel better, I will, you know, start to post here a little bit more regularly. I just haven't had a whole lot to say because I haven't felt really up to doing it. Like my other channel is the one that I post on daily, and I'm kind of like on autopilot on that channel just because I've been doing it for so many years. This one, I actually have to think about what I want to say and make it make sense. And it doesn't always make sense, but I do my best. But that is it. I will keep you guys posted, and if any of you guys have any experience with costochondritis, using Cosentyx or anything like that, please give me all the tips, tricks, details, and everything down below. And I know there are some of you that know a whole lot about like this medical issue. Lorraine, I know you're gonna give me some info. I know you do. You always do, and I love it and I appreciate it. Other people's experience really helps make sense of what I'm going through. So if you guys want to share your experiences, I really do appreciate all of you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Please leave all your cares, comments, concerns, everything down below, and I will see you in the next one.